Evening, folks. Brian here, Geomagnetic Earthwatch. Sunday, May 25, 2025. I've had this talk before. However, there's always lots of news people. Let's have the talk again. Let's talk about backup power systems for your home. Now, a lot of people use their gas and propane powered generators, and that's fine, but they are loud, carbon monoxide spewing poisons. You can't have them inside your house. I'm not saying don't get them, but that should be your secondary source of backup power. What's becoming more and more popular now are these solar charge units. It's not necessarily a generator, but it receives the solar energy through a solar panel into these solar battery banks, if you will. Now, after many hours of extensive review, there's lots. They're all good in their own right. I'm sure people like it for their own reasons. They have the Blue Eddy, the Opus, the Jackery. I decided on EcoFlow, and I purchased a total of 5 units. So I'm not totally off-grid yet, wife. So I wanted to equip areas of my home with secondary backup power in the event of power failure, which I think we're going to start experiencing soon. So that when the grid goes down for whatever reasons, I have several areas in my home zoned with their own dedicated power units and solar panels. So I don't have a large array of solar panels coming into one single focal point and then spread out inside the house. I don't necessarily believe in that, because if a component fails, your whole system is down. Which is why for my on-grid home, I have several independent zones. I brought in 5 separate solar cables coming into my house, into different areas of my house. My office, for example, I have the EcoFlow River 2 768 watt, 800 watt unit. It can surge up to 1600 watts. So when you're asking yourself, how big of a unit do I need? Ask yourself, how much power do you need in each area? Let's just say for a 24-hour period. How many watt hours, how many watts each hour does your equipment need for essential services? I'm just going to use my office as for an example. My Wi-Fi modems, my computer, and connected to my computer is my 42-inch flat screen TV and my lamp, all combined only use about 68 watts per hour. So on my 768 watt unit, that will keep me going for about 12 hours for continued use. Now, I'm not in my office 12 hours. Whenever I leave, I shut everything off because I don't want to waste the power. So it can last 24 hours before I have to charge it up. The beauty of these units is it has what's called pass-through power. So when you're connected up to a solar panel, it'll charge up the batteries, but it will not use the power from the batteries. It'll do what's called pass-through power. So it'll use the power coming directly from the solar panels into the built-in charge controller, inverter, and then into whatever you need, not using up your batteries. But when the sun goes down, it's no longer receiving a solar input, then it'll switch over to your batteries, your lithium iron phosphate batteries. So it's a very good unit to have, especially if you have any medical devices you need to keep on going. You want to charge up your phones, your Wi-Fi equipment. In another area in my home, downstairs, I have a kitchenette. Because of my arthritis, I don't like going up the stairs too many times, so I have a little kitchenette downstairs. I have another unit, another 800 watt unit, the River 2. And from that, I can make a couple of pots of coffee, use my blenders for smoothies, toaster, LED light. That'll keep me going all day, easily. I have another unit in my master bedroom. And again, if we need it, lamps, fans, Fans, they only use about 34 watts. Even the tower fans, 34 watts. Air conditioning unit, I think it's about anywhere from 500 to 1,000 times the wattage. So I have, my home is zoned, separate zones. And the panels that you often see in my videos outside, the first 3 panels goes to independent areas in my house. 2 panels on the wall of my house go into independent areas in my house. And the last 2 pairs, for a total of 4, go to my homemade units. That's what's beeping right now. So my homemade units, I can bring in 400 watts. So on a good sunny day, if it's completely empty, 2,500 watts, 2,500 divided by 400, and that's how many hours it takes just to charge it up. Hang on, it's getting a little bit warm. This is like it's nothing. If you don't know the wattage of the appliance or the item, look in the back tag. If it doesn't say how many watts per hour, it'll say the voltage, always 120, and it'll say the amps. It might be 0.5 amps. Take the amps times the voltage will give you the watts per hour. My wife has a TV upstairs. I let her have the larger unit, the Delta 2, the 1280 watt unit, to keep her TV and fans and whatever going. So during a power failure, I can have several areas in my house clean, uninterrupted power, no generator going off. It's all quiet. Now, to keep my daily hydro consumption down, I use these units throughout the day as much as I can. And then in the wintertime, when there's very little sun, I'll fire up my inverter generator and charge them up. It also gives me a lot of practical experience for when I do move out and go off grid. I know what I'm doing. I've already acquired quite a bit of equipment. I'm also going to include the link. I learned how to build one. There's lots of YouTube videos out there on how to build your own DIY, do-it-yourself systems. Like that one back there. I'll include the link from Chris of City Prepping. He did a very good video. This unit was based on his teachings. Kind of large. So my second one I built, I scaled it down. And so again, you gotta figure out how many watts per hour you need in order to start. If you have a CPAC, for example, if you have to have some air circulation, fans, if you have to have your morning coffee like me, just add it all up. It's kind of hard for me to have put in a link for all these EcoFlow units. So if you simply go to their website, and I'll include that link, or go to Amazon. So the 768 watt unit was roughly $500 Canadian. The 1280 watt Delta 2 was roughly $899 Canadian. You can also buy the foldable, portable solar panels. So you can fold them up like an accordion if you're going out camping or whatever, you got a bug out. And this video is not going to be very good. It's not my usual high quality standard video, but I'm going to show you some examples. So here I have 3 different units of the EcoFlow. I actually have a total of 5, but these are the 3 in order of. So we have the EcoFlow River 2 Max, which is the 540 watt unit. Then we have the EcoFlow River 2 Pro, 768 or otherwise 800 watts, can surge up to 1600 watts. And then the EcoFlow Delta 2, 1280 watt, storage unit. So once again, River 2 Max, 540 watts. So here I'm going to show you three different units. I have a total of 5. I have 3 of the one in the middle. The first one is the EcoFlow Delta 2 Max, which is the 540 watt unit. Then the EcoFlow River 2 Pro, which is the 760 watt, peak up to 1600 watt unit. And then the Delta 2, which is the 1280 watt unit. Now the first two are AC outlets, or in the front. Cigarette lighter charger, multiple USB ports. Same thing here. On the Delta 2 Pro, your AC is on the back, as well as your solar cable input, AC adapter input. And the back of the Delta Rivers are the same thing. Solar panel input, AC input, so you can charge these on your AC wall outlet. On the EcoFlow Rivers, they are capable of receiving up to 220 watts. So a single 200 watt panel will charge these up. And then the Delta 2 is capable of receiving 500 incoming watts solar. So I use 2 200 watt panels. So what I've done for my home is my smaller units, I have a dedicated panel for each unit of 3 zones coming to my house. I actually have 5 zones. There are 200 watt panels. What I did simply was standard ABS plumbing pipe. Bought a galvanized fence post. Bracket from Amazon. I can rotate them as I need to throughout the day. And I just brought my solar cable lines buried in conduit through the ground and up to several zones in my house. For my homemade units, my last 2 panels are dedicated for coming into my office. And I haven't finished yet. And then these 2 panels here are dedicated for my greenhouse. This is one of 2 units I've built. And again, I'll give you the link to City Prepping, Chris. He did a very good tutorial on how to put together your own DIY solar. So these are lithium ion phosphate batteries, Redodo. Each one is 12.8 volt, 100 watt combined in series. Will give me almost 2,500 watts storage. So I have my dedicated solar panels that come in. Coming in on this side. And through my charge controller. And it goes through all the appropriate safety features. So I have a battery isolation switch. If I have to do any work, I can disconnect the power in the battery. Solar panel isolation switch, in case I have to do any power. Shunt. Breaker fuse. Bus bars. Fusing. My 1000 watt pure sine wave inverter. My display. So right now the sun's just about going down. I still have 92% storage capacity. Right now, if all the fans I've got going, it's only a total of 94 watts. pulling out. Actually, it's less than that because the inverter will always pull some watts. Shut her off for the night. So in comparison to the EcoFlow, for example, the EcoFlow storage capacity is, as I've shown you, 540 watts, 768 watts, and 1220, whereas this is 2500 watts storage. Now you can buy foldable solar panels. These are each 160 watt. Now they are foldable, they go in a carrying case, but I decided to incorporate them into a wooden frame. Then I secured them to my house. So this is the first unit I built, kind of large. Just for now I'm keeping it in my office. And it's now telling me it's dead. Get rid of that annoying sound. So same thing, 2 100 watt lithium ion batteries, 12.8 volts, together in series gives me almost 2500 watts. My solar panel cables coming in through the wall from two dedicated panels. Charge controller, 2000 watt pure sine wave inverter, bus bars for safety, fusing for safety, solar panel isolation switch. If I have to do any work on this, I want to cut the power from the outside. Battery isolation switch, I just saw me turn off because it's beeping because it's completely drained. 40 amp breaker switch, shunt, and so on. So I just did a cutout in the side of my box here, the side of my inverter. I decided to go not for the cheap Chinese display, but rather this display, which will show you the battery capacity, whether it's being drained or charged up. Incoming solar panel power, etc., etc. As you can see right now, it's drained. So we'll shut that back off. There you go. Now there are some other options for keeping your system charged up when you don't have sun and you still have AC power. So you can get an AC charger specifically for lithium iron phosphate batteries. Plugs into the wall. You have your T8 battery connections. Screw them onto your battery, plug it in overnight. You can charge up your batteries that way. All the units would come with your cigarette lighter adapter. You can plug them into your vehicle to charge them up. Takes 7 hours, however, but if you're on a long road trip, it's worth it. So now you can buy add-on battery packs for these units, but it get into the thousands of dollars. So for the larger ones, like the Delta 2, for example, you can get battery packs add-ons. So it's an extra storage capacity. You're looking at about $3,000. Or you can take a standard 12-volt lithium ion phosphate battery, like the ones that I'm using. You can use your standard cigarette lighter plug-in. On Amazon, you can buy the female adapter with the T8 battery terminals, inline safety fuse, inline fuse. So you can charge up your EcoFlow unit from a standard 12-volt lithium ion phosphate battery. Average cost $250. So it's about 1/10 the price. It's a little bit of a cheating trick, but it saves you a lot of money. And all you simply do is your solar cable connection input in the back. Screw on your terminals to your battery. Another option, you can charge up these solar units with a generator as long as it's in an inverter generator. One precautionary note, even though these things have other safety features, use a surge protector power bar, your standard power bar that has a surge protector first. You plug that into your generator, then you plug your EcoFlow unit that comes with your standard AC cable. So this gets plugged into your inverter generator to charge up your unit. So when I'm dependent on my solar charging units and I don't have any sun, hey, out comes the generator. And again, I just brought my solar panel cable in, buried in conduit, passing it through my wall. Plugs in the back. Everything in my office is plugged into a power bar.